All right, New Orleans Police Department has opened up an investigation about the level of force some officers used to stop people during a fight at the French Quarter Festival.
Yeah, Duke Carter is live at NOPD headquarters this morning, and Duke, 2 people were arrested in the incident, and now the Office of the Police Monitor is speaking out about this. This is, of course, after a horrific video surfaced on social media.
Yeah, good morning, Eric and Sheba. Yeah, the Office of the Independent Monitor are speaking out about this. Leaders from that office, they are speaking out about this, and they say the review of this incident must address if the officer involved in this incident used the least amount of force to subdue the people involved in that fight. Now, they go on and they say, quote, "We have heard the heartfelt outrage from the community, and we do not take it lightly. At this time, we have not made and cannot make any conclusions about the police encounter that took place between NOPD and the citizen in the video. We can ensure the community that we will monitor the progression of the NOPD investigation into the use of force until it is concluded." Now, Police Superintendent Sean Ferguson said, quote, "I want our community to know we are taking this incident very seriously, and you can be confident the NOPD is committed to conducting a fair and impartial investigation." Now, take a look at this video. This is what we're talking about here. It shows Officer Octavio Baldassaro in a white shirt in a scuffle with a woman, and it seems as though he slammed her to the ground as he tried to subdue her. The officers were trying to break up a fight between 2 people at North Peters and Bienville. Now, in that fight, you had 2 women. They were arrested. One was charged with disturbing the peace, and the other was charged with a battery of an officer and tampering. For now, reporting live, Duke Carter, Eyewitness News.
All right, Duke, thank you very much.